recommends the State Board of Health adopt the proposed regulation amendments to Nevada Administrative Code, LCB file number R09322, and I am available for any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. Is there any public comment on this item? Autumn, do you note any?
Dr. Murawsky, Autumn Blattman for the record. No, I don't see any hands raised.
Thank you. Do any board members have any questions? Comments? Hearing none, I'll look for a motion to approve. And then regulation, chapter 433 to that administrative code, LCB file 03093-22.
Charles Smith, I make a motion to approve the amendments to regulation chapter 433, Nevada Administrative Code NAC, LCB file number R093-22.
Thank you. May I have a second?
This is Trudy Larson. I'll second.
Dr. Larson? All right, call for a vote. All members of the board in favor of adoption, please note by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, please note nay. All right, hearing none, motion carries. Thank you very much. We'll move on to action item 13, consideration and adoption of proposed regulation amendments to chapter 640D of the Nevada Administrative Code Music Therapist LCB file 094-22, regulations for training and licensure credits. Ms. Metherell, I guess, is still yours.
Chairman Pennel and members of the board, for the record, my name is Letitia Metherell, Health Program Manager with the Bureau of Healthcare Quality and Compliance. I'm here presenting for your consideration proposed regulations, LCB file number R094-22, related to the practice of music therapy. The proposed regulations were moved forward in accordance with NRS and NEC Chapter 233B, Nevada Administrative Procedure Code. A public workshop was held on June 8, 2022. No testimony in support or opposed was provided during the workshop. NRS 622.087 requires the Board of Health to adopt regulations related towards the satisfaction of requirements for the issuance of a music therapy license if the person completes a training program in a secondary or post-secondary education for occupational, vocational, career, trade, or technical education, which meets certain requirements. Section 1 brings the Board of Health into compliance with NRS 622.087 by requiring an applicant for a license to practice music therapist to submit a transcript or other documentation of the courses completed as part of the training program and a copy of the certificate issued for the completion of the program in order to receive equivalent credit. Section 2 amends NEC 640D.200 related to unlicensed music therapy complaints by requiring investigations of such complaints, not allowing unlicensed individuals to engage in the practice of music therapy until the individual becomes licensed, and other related provisions. Section 3 amends NAC 640D.210 as it relates to a complaint against a licensee or an applicant for a license to practice music therapy by authorizing examination of a complaint to determine whether good cause exists to conduct an investigation before sending the complaint to the Certification Board for Music Therapists. And if a complaint is substantiated, the complaint and any information collected as part of that investigation and findings in the investigation may also be forwarded to the Certification Board. Staff recommends the State Board of Health adopt the proposed regulation amendments to Nevada Administrative Code 640D, LCB file number R0940-22, and I am available for any questions.
Thank you very much. Is there any public comment on this item?
Dr. Murawsky, this is Autumn Blattman for the record. I see no hands raised.
Thank you very much. Any questions from board members? Items for discussion among board. Seeing none, hearing none, I'll move forward looking for a motion to approve and a second for amendments to LCB file 094-22.
This is Trudy Larson. I would propose adoption of the regulation amendments to Chapter 640D of the NAC regarding music therapists, LCB file number R094-22.
L. Smith, second.
All right, given I have a motion and a second, all members of the board in favor, please note by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any members opposed, please note nay. Motion carries. Thank you very much. We'll move on to action item 14, consideration and possible adoption of proposed regulation amendments to Chapter 640E of the Nevada Administration Code Dietitians LCB file R095-22. Again, Ms. Metherell.
Chairman Pennel, members of the board, for the record, my name is Letitia Metherell, Health Program Manager with the Bureau of Healthcare Quality and Compliance. I am here presenting for your consideration proposed regulations, LCB file number R095-22, related to the practice of dietetics. The proposed regulations were moved forward in accordance with NRS and NAC Chapter 233B, Nevada Administrative Procedure Act. A public workshop was held on June 8, 2022. No testimony in support opposed was provided during the public workshop. NRS 622.087 requires the Board of Health to adopt regulations related to the satisfaction of requirements for the issuance of a dietitian license if the person completes a training program in secondary or post-secondary education for occupational, vocational, career, trade, or technical education, which meets certain requirements. Section 1 brings the Board of Health into compliance with NRS 622.087 by requiring an applicant for a license to practice dietetics to submit a transcript or other documentation of the course completed as part of the training program and a copy of the certificate issued for completion of the program. Section 2, 3, and 9 through 11 of this regulation update the names of the national entities for credentialing dietitians and accrediting dietetic education programs. Section 4 eliminates the fee for the late renewal of a license and the issuance of a duplicate license to conform with the changes made by Assembly Bill 73 of the 2021 legislative session. Section 5 removes a reference to a repealed regulation. Section 6 removes the requirement that the purpose of the provisional license being issued is to allow a person to complete all the licensure requirements during the period of the provisional license, and then just requires it to confirm with the existing law pursuant to NRS 640E.180. Section 7 adds a requirement that an application for a temporary license include the applicant's registration number from the Commission on Dietetic Registration. Section 8 amends NAC 640E.200 relating to unlicensed dietitian complaints by requiring investigation of such complaints, not allowing unlicensed individuals to engage in the practice of dietetics until they become licensed, and other related provisions. To the extent money is available to do so, Section 9 authorizes examination of a complaint to determine whether good cause exists to conduct an investigation before sending the complaint to the Commission on Dietetic Registration. And if an investigation conducted and the complaint is substantiated, the complaint and any information collected as part of that investigation may be forwarded to the Commission. Section 12 repeals NAC 640E.120 and NEC 640E.130, which are no longer relevant as a result of the changes made by Assembly Bill 73 of the 2021 legislative session. Staff recommends the State Board of Health adopt the proposed regulation amendments to Nevada Administrative Code 640E, LCB file number R095-22, and I am available for any questions you may have.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on this action item?
Dr. Murawsky, this is Autumn Blattman. I have one individual with their hand raised. Mr. Martin, please go ahead.
Yes, hello, good morning. This is Dylan Martin with the Nevada Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. I just want to come on here and say that our organization supported AB 73, and we also understand the purpose of AB 330, and just want to come on here as a dietitian here in the state of Nevada, as a representative for our profession, and also say thank you to Ms. Metherall and also to the board for continuing to support dietitian licensure in our state. So thank you for finalizing these changes, and happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you. Autumn, is there any other comment?
I don't see anybody else with their hand raised.
Thank you. Board members, is there any questions or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, I'd like to move for a motion to approve and a second, please.
Charles Smith, I'll make a motion to approve the proposed regulation amendments to Chapter 640E, Nevada Administrative Code, Dietitians, LCB file number R095-22.
Judy Bittner here, second that motion.
Thank you. Board members, all in favor, please note by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any board member opposed, please note nay. Motion carries. Thank you very much. All right, moving on, just an item to note, the 2023 State Board of Health meeting dates are March 3rd, 2023, June 2nd, 2023, September 1st, 2023, and December 1st, 2023. That's just for note of our board members and for the public to note when those dates will be held.
Dr. Murawsky, this is Autumn Blattman. For the record, if I may just interject for a moment. I just wanted to note for the board members that there was an email that went out regarding a January meeting date to address some of the regulations that weren't able to come to this meeting. So if you wouldn't mind just checking your email inboxes, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, we'll have to look for that. Thank you. All right. Any board members have any recommendations? Item 16, recommendations for future agenda items. Hearing no recommendations for board members for future agenda items, I'll move on to item 17, general public comment. At this point, general public comment may be made. Action will not be taken on these agenda items at this time, just consideration for future agenda items. Autumn, I will turn it over to you to manage any public comment.
Thank you, Dr. Murawsky. We have Colleen Lyons. Please state your name for the record and go ahead for public comment.
Hello, this is Dr. Colleen Lyons. I'm the Carson City Health Officer and also the volunteer editor of the Nevada Family Physician. This is more a question for the board. The state health officer has always previously submitted a report to the board, but I did not see that report included in these materials, nor did I hear from the health officer during that county board or county health officer statement. So I'm wondering, is that still to be included in future meetings or not?
Dr. Murawsky, if I may.
Please.
Thank you. This is Autumn Blattman, Executive Assistant for the record. Dr. Eisen Azam is actually on annual leave out of town, and he opted to not submit a report, but in the future he will be submitting reports on a regular basis, from my understanding.
Okay, great. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And with that, I don't see anybody else's hands raised.
All right, seeing no further comment, Dr. Pennel, I will turn the meeting back to you to adjourn.
Thank you very much, Dr. Murawsky. Thank you, everybody, for attending and for all the hard work everybody puts into these meetings, trying to protect the state of Nevada and the public. Hope everyone has a really wonderful and happy holiday season. Safe holidays. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you so much.